ever found yourself saying that you are not enough? That perhaps you say to yourself that you're not qualified enough for maybe to apply for a particular job, or you're not smart enough to get that promotion, or that you say, I don't have the time to, or I don't have the money to invest in myself. Well, all of that stops right here, right now. My name is Wesson. I'm a motivational speaker, life coach, and mother. And people come to me all the time and they ask me, how can I be more positive? How can I lead a more positive life? And if you stay to the end, then I will show you some really simple, practical steps that you can try today to help you lead a more positive life, and ultimately then lead to a more content and a more fulfilled life. So the first thing is your mindset. Your mindset is everything. It's the foundation to how you live. Okay, a bit similar like to the foundation of a house, let's say. If you've got a really bad foundation that you build your house on, then no matter how brilliant and what luxury materials you use for, the rest of the interior, if your foundation isn't good, then the house will fall apart eventually. And it's the same thing with you and your life. If your mindset, if your thoughts and what you think, if they are not strong, the foundation there isn't strong, then ultimately your life can eventually fall apart. So let's say when you start something new, perhaps, you expect it to go smooth, okay? And you expect to get there quickly. Let's just say you wanted to start to work out, you wanted to lose a little bit of weight and you wanted to trim your body. Generally speaking, let's say you go to the gym on the first day and you come home, you look in the mirror and you think, okay, nothing's changed. But then you go to the gym the next day and you return home, you look in the mirror and again, nothing has changed. Now, maybe the average person will think, okay, well then if I can't measure these results, I can't prove that I'm improving or it's working, then I'm just going to quit. Okay? Even if you give yourself a week or two, maybe still then nothing really changes. Whereas if you truly believe and you know that if and when you commit yourself to this cause, that combined with a good diet, a lot of water, rest, if you do it consistently, eventually you will start to lose the weight and you will start to shape up. You will start to look different and feel different. But the issue is that people don't stick to a problem for long. They don't see it through. It can take weeks, it can take months. Let me give you another example. Let's say a baby. Some of you might have children, maybe you've got younger siblings or nieces or nephews or grandchildren. Let's say when a baby first starts to walk, okay, do they just get up and go? No. Rather, they start by holding on to the sofa or a chair or table for support, and then they venture out, they dare to venture out of their current comfort zone, and they take that first step. And usually they will fall. And then what happens when they fall? Do they stop and that's it, they quit? No, rather they get up and they try again. And they try again and again and again, hundreds of times, perhaps thousands of times. It could take them days, weeks, even months in order for them to perfect or master the art of walking. Now, they may have their eyes on a particular goal. Perhaps their parents are praising them on in the distance, or they've got their eyes on a ball or a toy of some kind. But the point is that they don't give up on themselves. Okay? Now, imagine if that baby had decided to quit on itself. None of us would be walking around now. We are creatures of curiosity and creativity. We were born to learn and to keep learning. Imam Ali alayhi salam has a beautiful quote about that we, as human beings, we are here to seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. The baby, from the minute it's born, it's learning, and it continues until we die. So there's no reason why we need to stop learning. You can't be too young or too old. We are in constant learning. Don't you ever find yourself saying, oh, I learned something new today? That's the point. That every day we are mastering a new skill or a new technique in order to better ourselves and to grow and to develop. Everything is hard before it gets easy. Everything is meant to be hard before you repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, and it becomes easier and easier until you master it. And even when you master it, there's another level as well to conquer. And even that level then will be initially hard until that level becomes easy. And then you go up and you go further up and you continue until you finish with this life. But the point is that we're continuously learning. So some people think that we are born with a certain level of ability or knowledge or talent that you can't learn things. For example, you might look at somebody else and think, oh, look at her, she's so lucky, she's so confident and she's so successful and I can never be like that. Well, first of all, comparison kills joy. Don't compare yourself. Everybody is on their own journey. Everybody is on their own personal, unique journey. Your journey is not going to look like anybody else's. Not even like if you have a twin, okay? Everybody has their own thoughts, their own outlooks, their own perspectives, their own struggles, their own joys, their own hardships. Comparison is the thief of all joy. Focus on your journey and embrace your journey, even if it's a struggle at the moment, even if you find it challenging now, it will become easier. So people think that they are born with this natural ability to do things, but no, when you're looking at somebody else and you're comparing, trust me when I say that that person was in a place at one point in their life where they found it extremely difficult. The only difference between you and that person that you're comparing yourself is that she stayed with the problem for longer. She stayed and figured it out. She made the mistakes. She struggled like how you're probably struggling right now. She had many rejections. She probably even looked silly at times. She had self-doubt. She probably still has self-doubt. She had many late nights and early mornings and committed herself to her work. And I say this because I used to be that person. And I still do. A lot of these things still happen to me now. I stayed, and I used to look at other people and think, okay, oh my goodness, look how, successful she is, or look at how well she's doing. But I've now become that person that I stayed with the problem for a long time, and I figured it out until I broke through those glass ceilings, until I had many rejections. I struggled a lot. I had many days of setback. I have done things scared, and I still do sometimes do things scared, but I've faced the fear and I did it anyway. I've made plentiful of mistakes, and I learn from those mistakes. I assess myself and think to myself, okay, what did I do well there? What could I do better next time? I still have that criticism, self-critical voice in my head, but only to make myself better next time. That self-doubt creeps back in sometimes, but it's a lot lower and it's a lot less than it used to be. I used to struggle with things like my confidence. I struggled with low self-esteem, lack of self-worth, but again, I worked on myself. And I'm not smart. People come to me and say, Wesson, you're so smart, you've got a degree. I've got a degree in medical biochemistry. I'm a motivational speaker now and a mother to 5, alhamdulillah. And people say, oh, you're so smart. But it's not smart, okay? It's because I stayed with the problem. I've dedicated a lot of time, and I'm talking years, to work on myself, to work on my mindset, and to figure it out. And I've invested a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of effort into what I've achieved now, and to achieve my success, what my definition of success is. But I know it's hard. In Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah 45, I believe, it says, وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ. And that means seek help in patience and in prayer. So in combination with working hard and putting a lot of effort into something, have patience and pray. I know it's hard, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also goes on to say that yes, it's heavy and it's hard, and you'll have those struggles and you'll have those hardships, but a true believer deep down believes that when they will put their effort in and they have full faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that they pray and they remain patient, that eventually you will see the fruits of your labor. Eventually you will reap the rewards. I'm testament to that with the right mindset shifts, with the right thoughts, you will, and combined of course with salah and having patience, and putting the work in, of course, it's not just going to fall onto your lap. You need to do the work, but you need to believe in it. You need to have it in your mind. You need to visualize it. You need to get to work, believe in it, and then wait and trust Allah will give it to you. Like that, get it in shape. You don't know when exactly it will happen. I heard this great quote that said, when you ask for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for something, He starts wrapping it up, okay, in this beautiful package, and He will send it off to you. But the only thing that He doesn't put on the package is the date. We don't know when your fruits of labor will come to light, but you've got to have faith that it will come at some point and at the right time for you. And again, you can look at everybody else becoming successful or getting married or having the house or the car or the business or the money or the holidays, and you're looking around and you're thinking, what about me? Your time will come when it's right for you. Embrace your journey. So wait for that package through sabr and through salah. So that was the first step, about your mindset. The second step is about your thoughts. Imam Ali alayhi salam has a beautiful quote about that your thoughts determine your life. Your thoughts determine your life. Now think about it. On average, a human being has anything between 35 to 60,000 thoughts a day. A day. That's a huge amount of thoughts. And guess what? Unfortunately, 80% of those thoughts are negative. 80%. So it's up to you. It's up to you to change the narrative. You have the control. You have the power over the words you tell yourself. So you have the power to say, I can. Yes, I will, inshallah. Yes, I must. Yes, I command of myself. You have the power to change what you tell yourself. No matter what's going on around you, no matter your external environment, no matter the toxic people or the things that are going on or the problems or your struggles, you have the power. Your thoughts manifest your life. So if you're not happy with your life for whatever reason and you want to change your life, then you need to think about what you think about. You need to reassess, what are you telling yourself every day? What are you telling yourself every hour, every minute, every second, every thought? What are you telling yourself? Are you telling yourself, I can? Are you telling yourself, I'm working on it? Are you telling yourself, I'm learning? It's okay if I make a mistake. I'll learn from it. I'm going to try that. It's fine. You need to change that narrative. Your current life is because of your thoughts. You have to select your thoughts like you select your clothes. Like how you select your clothes, you want to look good and presentable. You need to select those good thoughts as well. Like how you select what to eat. If you want to have, if you want to lose some weight, or you want to just have a generally healthier diet to be just fitter, just generally well in yourself. If you want to drink more water so that you have better skin, for example, better hair. You select those things, and it's the same with your thoughts. But we don't invest, unfortunately, enough time or effort or even money into helping us shift those 80% of negative thoughts into more positive, productive thoughts. You need to select your thoughts, and that's the only thing that you have control over. There's plenty of things going on around the world that you perhaps don't have control over, but you have control over your thoughts. You have the power to cultivate the more positive thoughts. You can't control other people. You can't control their behaviors. You can't control their actions. You can't control their thoughts, but you can control yours. If you can't master your thoughts, then you're in trouble. But if you can, when you learn, it's hard at first, but once you're able to really master your thoughts, then you're winning. And my final tip, number 3, is about self-reflection, whether through journaling or a diary, or just asking yourself at the end of the day, for example, I ask myself these 3 simple questions. I ask what I learned today, what did I do well, what I didn't do well, and how I can do it better next time. Just these 3 simple questions. If you don't ask yourself anything else, but every day you reflect on how your day went, how you reacted to things, if you didn't react to it so well, why, and how you can deal with it better next time. And if you did react to it well, or you dealt with it well, then let me do that again next time. If you're faced with that same problem or something similar, then that's how I would deal with it. Everything in life is a lesson. Okay? Don't live a life of regret. No matter what you have done, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives, firstly. So why shouldn't we forgive ourselves? Everything is a lesson. Everything. Whether a situation was good or bad, learn from it. What can you take from that lesson, from that situation, from that mistake, from that failure? What can you take away from it? We are told, unfortunately, that we can't make mistakes, that it's not good, that you won't learn, that you shouldn't, that you're stupid, but no. Okay, if you repeat the same mistake over and over, of course, you need to assess, okay, what's going on here? But how you respond to things is a lesson. So take from every circumstance, every hardship, every struggle, every bad relationship, every relationship breakdown, every breakdown in your job, for example. Take from it what lesson you've learnt from it. When I look back at my experiences in life, yes, at some point before I developed this more positive kind of mindset, I used to look at it and think, I played the victim, and look how I struggled, and I suffered a lot. And yes, okay, I did suffer. But also, what lesson did I learn and I take from it? Perhaps that situation taught me to be kinder. Perhaps that struggle taught me to be more patient. Some situation taught me to be more compassionate, to be more empathetic. Everything you experience, whether it's good or bad, happy or sad, they all have lessons. They are all lessons. Let's say, for example, you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help you to be more patient. How is Allah going to assess you to be more patient unless He gives you a problem? Or unless He gives you some kind of struggle? Unless He gives you a hardship? Or else how are you going to prove that you can be more patient. If you wanted to be more courageous, how are you going to show that you are more courageous now, let's say compared to yesterday, unless you're faced with a situation where you face fear, where you're scared? How are you going to show how you can be more compassionate or more loving unless you're faced with a situation where probably something makes you angry? And that's where you bring out that patient, more compassionate, more kind, more loving individual that you are. So in fact, these tests in life are blessings because they teach us, they help us learn to become that better version of ourselves, that more positive person. So it helps us become more patient and more and kinder and more compassionate and more loving and more caring. And ultimately that's what we're looking for. And that's what can give us that ultimate fulfillment in life. So my friends, let's stop feeling sorry for ourselves and let's learn on how to figure out to better ourselves, inshallah. And never stop learning. I thank you for your time, and I thank you for your trust, and I thank you for your attention. Thank you for watching, and inshallah, until next time, I'll see you soon.